and literally said there's no way he could actually pull off what he was pulling off with his students that would be so engaging over any other technology. And they had already tried to do Zoom and a bunch of other platforms, and they were able to really engage in the campus environment. And to some extent, one of the really cool things about our environment, and of course we're still working the bugs out, and some of you are certainly aware of that even today, but we've worked out so many of the bugs that nobody else has even been able to get close to solving in terms of the future state of work and the future state of the economy. So, if the other part that I think is really important as well is to really think about what's the future for companies that do decide to go back physical bricks and mortar. Maybe it's maybe a company, and again, not saying that these companies would or wouldn't do business with us, or that they are or not doing business with us. We're under NDA with actually a whole bunch of folks, which is pretty cool. And I wish I could sort of mention some names of some folks that are pretty high profile. But companies are needing to put together their own emergency remote work plan, and what better platform than something like what we're in today to be able to do that is to have the ability to be fully engaged the next day everybody goes home from work. It's just so this whole idea of what's the emergency plan, and then also what does remote work look like? We talked a little bit obviously about the VirBELA Open Campus, eXp World. We talked a little bit about Frame VR earlier today. We've talked about a lot of the events that are taking place in here. We talked about Laval Virtual. We talked about Event Farm. We've talked about, obviously, we've got our convention hall that is just opening up and will be open up tomorrow. But all of this stuff really speaks to the fact that once you go fully remote, and I think that being fully remote or moving an organization to being fully remote actually is the disruptor. I think that's what Michael Valdez talked about it earlier. The disruption is the way we operate. And the fact is that 90%, might not be 100%, but 90% of our competitors will effectively go back to work in a physical office as soon as they're able to do it. And I read a statement the other day by another company that literally made the full-on statement that virtual companies, fully remote companies, will in fact fully disrupt physical bricks and mortar companies over the next decade. So companies that go back to bricks and mortar will effectively lose their lunch, lose their market share, effectively go out of business over the next decade in comparison to their non bricks and mortar based counterparts. So those companies that embrace remote organization. Now, some are going to get it wrong, but some are going to get it right. I believe that we've got it right, and we're agile enough to continue to get it right. And then I noticed another thing, and this was from a gentleman named David Rowa, who has been involved with about 50 or 60 tech companies, primarily in Canada, but he's now runs a little investment banking firm. So he's got some YouTube, some videos that he's done where he's talked to some investor conferences where he talks about the financial benefits of operating 100% remote, and the benefits way outweigh the expenses related to staying bricks and mortar based, and so returns to shareholders. He estimates a minimum of 150% better return to founders and shareholders for companies that run 100% remote versus those that are physical bricks and mortar based. And those numbers can get extremely out of whack depending on what way you're operating. And there's a lot of other companies out there that run fully remote, GitHub, WordPress. A lot of them are technology companies. In fact, almost every one of them are technology companies. And for us, we've adopted a technology to effectively displace an industry, to take advantage of the economic disparities of working 100% remote versus those that have to support the physical bricks and mortar structured. So, so we think about sort of the new normal. The new normal is that 54% of adults want to work remote most of the time after the pandemic. They didn't think they wanted to do it before, but now that they've actually figured out how to work around their kids, work around their spouses, significant others, and others, they're going, well, why wouldn't I avoid that commute? The average commute time to an office is 25 to 30 minutes. We're talking about over a lifetime, 7 years that people will spend on the road commuting back and forth to an office over their work lifetime. Whereas, and it literally adds up to almost, I think it's a month a year that most people spend every year just commuting back and forth to the office. So this is, so it's a big deal. So, 74% of employees, CFOs want employees to work permanently remote work. Well, so we've got so many advantages. And of course, when we think about eXp, we're growing eXp. We're adding staff. We're introducing new products and services. We're making key acquisitions, and we're doing it in real time. Even today during the pandemic, we've had to make certain cuts here and there just to make sure that we could weather the storm, depending on whether we're in a V shape, a U shape, or some sort of downturn in the economy. We needed to right size the company to make sure that we could get through that. We think we've done that. We know that there's some folks that have made their way back to eXp in some capacity already, which is awesome. We're growing VirBELA. We've expanded the sales and engineering teams. We're developing and launching new products as quickly as we can now. We're also looking at strategic acquisitions. So, really the future of work is now. The future of work, we pioneered it as an organization. We did it out of necessity. And a lot of companies right now are doing it out of necessity, but are they going to actually stick with it after it's no longer necessary? And if you really look at the amount of collaboration and community that you can build in an online way, not to say that there aren't reasons to have physical offices or physical spaces, but I think that every single headquarters of any major organization that has any sort of geographic distribution needs to put their central organization on the cloud. It'll make them more accessible. Their customers will be able to engage with them much more effectively. Their folks on the front line, whether it be in any business, will be able to be more in touch with the glue of the organization. And as opposed to being an ivory tower, they can actually be one of the team on the front lines, working shoulder to shoulder with teammates in a way that no normal company will work. And so for us, the reality is that we were prepared for at least this thing. And I believe that we as an organization are prepared for anything. I think that's the key message here, is that we are in fact prepared. We were ready. We've been ready since 2009. We operated so lean. We made every cost of our organization a variable cost and not a fixed cost. And as a result, we were able to manage through a number of years through and literally have positive cash flow almost since the beginning, while sharing equity with our agents and brokers and those who have helped us grow the organization over time, and have contributed in such a meaningful way. So we were prepared for anything, and we invite you again to tour the VirBELA Open Campus. If you're watching on the live stream, even if you're in world, the eXp world, definitely take advantage of the VirBELA Open Campus. One of the things that we've got on the VirBELA Open Campus, we touched on a little bit earlier, is the private team suites. And this is a little bit of I'll just talk about this because I think if you're watching the live stream, if you're not with eXp and you don't have and you haven't come into VirBELA and checked out what the private team suites could mean to you, they could literally, they have the potential to save your business and save your enterprise. And because we don't know how long this pandemic is going to take place, but you're going to need a place to go to work. And Zoom only counts to a certain level. It can work in a pinch, but it isn't a place to work over the long haul. So come check out the Open Campus, check out our team suites, and even if you're with Realty or otherwise, think about the VirBELA Open Campus as being an extension of where you work, because I think there's opportunities to be able to collaborate with like-minded people, to network with other people in our VirBELA Open Campus. We've already seen business relationships start on the VirBELA Open Campus between many different enterprises because they had serendipitous, meaningful collisions with people that they have an opportunity to now be in business with. And so the Open Campus really represents a cool opportunity to collaborate and to connect, and obviously eXp World as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off from my end. Find me on Workplace, find me on LinkedIn, find me on the VirBELA Open Campus. That's where I spend most of my time nowadays. Drop into the VirBELA main office during the week. If I'm available, I'll come out and say hi. We can have a serendipitous, meaningful collision on the campus. I can introduce you to some folks over at on the VirBELA side of the house. We're super excited, super stoked to be in business with each and every one of you, and also really proud to have each one of you as shareholders that have made eXp part of your holdings, and we hope to make you proud. So with that, thank you very much, and super stoked to be for everybody being here today.
Thank you, Glenn.
So much, Glenn.
It was an amazing presentation. I think something that will live with us for a while, and something I think we're going to remember in the months and even years ahead. And Stacy, let's make sure everybody, first of all, is aware of what's going to happen the next few days. So tomorrow we have starts 3 days of breakout sessions.
Absolutely. And I know, Dave and Curtis and that whole team and your team and everybody have just been getting together and making sure is check it out. The content is going to be amazing. The expshareholder.com website has all the information you need for that.
Yep. And then tomorrow, after the breakout sessions, we've talked so much about it, but our eXp Extraordinary Expo, I mean, I can't tell you folks, if you haven't been in the convention center yet, you can almost smell the new carpet in there. It's almost played tricks with my mind when I walk by the booths and see them set up. And it's the expo I always wanted. In doing 20 years of live events, we had to move into the virtual world to do it, and I could not be more excited about it. And then Stacy, also during the expo, we have the referral roundup.
Absolutely. And I'm very excited about that, guys. Do take the time. That's one of the best things about this company and the events that we get to have is you get to meet people from all over the entire world now. This is just an incredible opportunity. Take advantage of it. See the friends you already know. Make new friends. Have a really good time with it. And then Friday.
And Friday we have our keynote guest speaker, John Gordon. So again, look on the eXpShareholderSummit.com. Of course, that's open to all to attend as well. So we can't wait for that. And Stacy, I just want to take a second, and I can't even begin to list the number of people that helped put today together. It all started with putting together an event in Orlando, Florida, that ended up not happening. And I just want to thank our growth team, our tech team, the VirBELA team, our marketing team, to put on something like this, whether it's in the virtual world or the real world. It takes almost every employee at eXp. It takes the feedback of thousands of agents to put it together. And I just want to, on behalf of the entire company, thank everybody that has worked to make today groundbreaking.
Absolutely. The way everybody pivoted, shifted, got this all ready, literally just handed me a slide deck to walk up with. You guys all did amazing and phenomenal. And I appreciate you allowing me to host with you today. It was a wonderful experience. And I look forward to mingling with everyone this week.
It was great. I look forward to seeing everybody in the breakout sessions at the expo. We'll be looking for your feedback on Workplace. We'll have a lot more information there for those of you at eXp. For the rest of you, go to the website. This has been Stacy. We've been going through 8 to 10 weeks where we've seen and heard stories of loss, stories of hope, and it's been such a blessing for all of us that for our professional lives, we have each other and we have the ability to engage with each other in this world. And for everything else that we do. This is a day that I know for myself I will never forget, and I'm so appreciative for all of you in the audience that took time to be with us all day, and we can't wait to see you the rest of the week.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Have an incredible evening. Sell lots of real estate. Be productive. Be awesome. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you starting tomorrow.